Okay, the recording has been started and we will move towards our topic. We are in the series of discussion of medical review of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so there is a heavy rain here, so delay in maybe few words or delay in viewing the slides, it is expected. So we are in the series of discussing or we are in the process of reviewing Bhagavad Gita with the medical aspect. So we will have just a recap that what the topic we discussed yesterday. We are now going to discuss the spiritual anatomy and physiology discussed or describes or decoded in the Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, all the verses are decoded. All the verses are coded in the coded language. So we have to decode it. So we discussed that. We'll discuss these bullet points in this spiritual uh, in this presentation. Spiritual anatomy, which is including of Prakriti and Purusha. Functional spiritual entity, that is a basic entity, the ruling over the kshetra, the concept of kshetra and kshetrajna, ruler of functions of human body. Spiritual physiology, that is which are those basic spiritual principles or basic free spiritual energies which runs all the body physiology, or all the human physiology, because physical physiology we are quite aware of that. Okay, then types of prakritis, basic energies of humans. Vikrutis, that today we will discuss. Till types of prakriti we discussed yesterday. Today we will discuss about from the Vikruti. And then fruits of Vikruti, what happens, what are the fruit or consequences of Prakriti, solutions, how we will overcome over that Vikrutis, which are the 6 major pillars which support the health or healthy human beings, and limitations of the human senses or physical abilities. These sutras discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. So let us come to our first slide. This is again a recap of yesterday. Basically, what is a human being? Okay, we know about the body too much. We have quite advanced knowledge about the human body. But what is a human being? Human being is not only a human body. Human being has lot of other extensions than the human body. Okay, so you basically, we know the concept from the Taittiriya Upanishad that we exist at body, mind, prana, intellect, and a spirit level. So prana annamaya kosha, that is the human body, is only one aspect of the human extensions or human existence. So Bhagavad Gita says there is something written regarding this topic, that Bhagavad Gita says, Arjuna asked in 13th chapter that I want to know what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna, what is Jnana, and what is Jneya. Okay, so here Arjuna knows that Prakriti is something different, that is nature or the matter things. Okay, the physical things is something different, which body and a little bit of prana comes under the Prakriti. And Purusha is something different, which is a seer or which is the doer or which is a non-matter form. So there are two always entities in the world or in the universe. That is, one is matter form, one is non-matter form. Okay, so human being is a combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, so basically, if you will ask what is a human being, it is not only the body. Body is just the external manifestation of the human being. Okay, so as if you are watching this slide, but I'm discussing in this sessions. So like that, human being is a combination or is a mixture or entitlement of Prakriti and Purusha. Their matter is present and non-matter is present in each and every cell at cellular biology level also. Matter and non-matter is having the existence. So basically, in this, from this sutra, we understand that Prakriti, human being, or if you want to know the spiritual anatomy of the human being, that is the combination of or the accumulation of the Prakriti and Purusha. Okay. Then he asked about the Kshetra, Kshetratnya, Jnana, what is Jnana, what is Neya. So that is described in the next sutras. From in 13th chapter, from 1 to 7 sutras, discuss about all this spiritual anatomy of the human beings. So in next sutras, he says, Bhagwan or Sri Krishna is giving the answer. Shri Bhagwan uvacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidhiyate etadyo vetti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidah. Okay. So what does Sri Krishna or Bhagwan is saying? Shariram kshetram ityabhidhiyate. This body, no, whatever the physical body, which consists of different body organs, body systems, and everything, so that is called as a kshetra. Okay, this body which the soul or the spirit or the kshetrajna get on this earth, along with all pranic energy, along with all indriyas, is called as a kshetra. Okay, kshetra means kshetra is a Sanskrit word. Basically, kshetra means the field. Okay, the field where the body or the kshetrajna is have the opportunity to work. Okay, so it's like a farm or it's like a field. And if we will consider the field or farm, there is a farmer always. Okay, so kshetrajna, the one who knows or who runs this body or this kshetra, is called as a kshetrajna. Okay, etadyo vettitam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidah. So kshetrajna has some upadhis like what is called as a kshetra. Like kshetra, the body will have gender, body will have age. The body changes from the starting of the day first of the human being, from the age of 1 month or 6 months, 10 years, 20 years. Body keeps on changing. Kshetra keeps on changing, but kshetrajna remains same. The person or the entity inside you at the age of 5, at the age of 15, at the age of 25, at the age of 35, 45, 65, 85 will remain, is the same thing. Okay, that never changes. So that is a kshetrajna. Okay, now how kshetrajna gets the body or kshetra? The baddha jivas or the bounded atman, they have some desires to enjoy the kshetra or enjoy the bodily pleasures. According to that bodily desires of the bodily pleasure, each and every kshetrajna gets the that's whatever kind of kshetra or whatever kind of body or whatever kind of field he wants to enjoy. Okay, and it also depends according to its abilities or capacities. Okay, or we can say according to his karmas. Basically, that is the only sutra or the output or takeaway from the Bhagavad Gita, that we have to be worried about our karmas. Then according to our karmas, we get or we receive the different bodies or different kshetras. Okay, so here we get that there are two entities, kshetra and kshetrajna, that is the farm and a farmer. Okay, next sutra, third sutra, says that this kshetrajna is all present in all bodies. So here in third sutra, the two kshetrajnas are also given. Okay, so sutra 3 says, because Bhagavad Gita is not a descriptive literature, it is a coded literature, or it is the information, the knowledge is written in a coded language. So third sutra says that one kshetrajna is present in all the bodies or all the kshetras. Okay, that means my soul is present in your body, your soul is present in my body. Okay, so there is a little bit confusion here. So if you will understand that properly, kshetrajnas have again two kinds of the kshetrajnas are there. One is individual kshetrajna, and one is supreme kshetrajna, or what we can say that there are two atmans. One is jivatma, one is paramatma. Okay, so one jivatma, which is an individual consciousness, according to its ahankar, according to its mahat. Okay, its intelligence, its memories, its basic past karmas. There is something called as a jivatma, and there is another atma that is called as a paramatma. So if we'll decode this third sutra in this way, that is easily and that is rightly understood. So paramatma, the supreme consciousness, is present in each and every body. So now from this we received the three entities. Okay, three spiritual entities. That one is kshetra, and one is jivatma, and one is paramatma. So we can explain this in a better way. For example, man or a farmer is there, the ruler or the king of the land is there, and under this farmer and under the instructions of the farmer and or along with the cooperation of the farmer and with the cooperation of the ruler, the field or the kshetra get or the things happen in the kshetra. Okay, so kshetra or the field has two rulers. One is the farmer, one is the king, or one is the ruler. Okay, and to know all these things is something called as a jnana. Okay, so Arjuna asks in the first sutra, what is jnana? Is the jnana information which we always get early in the morning on WhatsApp or maybe on social media? Is that a knowledge, or is that a information? Is that a jnana? No, that is only the information. The real knowledge, real jnana, is to know these two kinds of, or to establish or to recognize this kshetrajna in the kshetra. Okay, so this two kshetrajnas, Jivatma and Paramatma, will always find in the each and every kshetra or each and every field. Another example we can take that there is a portrait, there is an artist, and there is an art. Okay, so what is the difference between a portrait, artist, and art? Okay, art is a something called as a parma. I'm just giving you a symbolized example. So there is a portrait which is visualized, which is material thing, which can be symbolized with the kshetra. Artist, the one who draw that, who work on that, that is something called a symbol, can be symbolized as the jivatma. And art is a something completely supreme entity, that is can be symbolized with the Paramatma. Okay, so here till here we get the three things, and then we discussed about the Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is covered with the sanskar and vasanas. Paramatma cannot be contaminated, cannot be covered with that, because that is a supreme entity. That is the Akshar Brahman. Okay, it can Jivatma can be in a Chuta avastha. It can get deteriorated. Paramatma can never get deteriorated. Achyuta, because he is in Achyuta avastha. That's why one of the name of Krishna is also Achyuta. Secondary form, Jivatma is always a secondary authority or secondary form. Paramatma is always the highest authority. And Jivatma runs over the kshetras or the prakrutis, energies of the body, and Paramatma rules over kshetra also and Jivatma also. Okay, so like king rules over the farm also and over the farmer also. So like that, Paramatma has the highest authority. And the same concept is described in Brahma Sutras also, Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, and even in different sutras, the similar concept is discussed with the different words. And one of the practical evidence we discuss that we observe this, because the body is a combination of voluntary and involuntary system. Okay, from the starting of the medical, when I entered in the medical education, I was having this question that who is controlling the involuntary system? You are saying that few functions, few entities or few systems are involuntary. That is not in our control. Then those who is controlling them? Okay, so maybe after 20 years I received the answer that human body system have the two rulers. First of all, two kshetrajnas. One is Jivatma, one is Paramatma. All the voluntary functions are controlled by the Jivatma, no? Which includes the musculoskeletal system, partial nervous system, partial respiratory system. For example, respiratory system is a voluntary as well as involuntary system. Okay, so a little bit of voluntary control we can receive on the respiratory system. Okay, little bit of partial or voluntary control we can receive over the cardiovascular system. But we don't have any control over digestive system. We don't have any control over the nervous system, reproductive system. Okay, so few systems are partially voluntary, partially involuntary. Few systems are completely voluntary. Few systems are completely involuntary. So the ruler of the voluntary functions or voluntary system is Jivatma. If I can decide, I can stop functioning of that system. But ruler of the involuntary functions, few systems are there. If I want to stop them or I want to start them, I cannot have the control on them. Those are involuntary systems functions. So that is under control of the Paramatma. I don't have that approach or authority to control them. Okay. Similarly about the Indriyas also. It's maximum Jnanendriyas are under the control of Paramatma. So of course, with the advanced yogic technologies, you can receive the control over the Jnanendriyas. One can receive the control over the Jnanendriyas. And that is what called, that is a system, or that is a technique called as a yoga, where we say Jivatma gets reach up to the Paramatma. Yujjate anena iti yoga. The thing or the technique which joins or which accumulates the Jivatma to Paramatma, that is yoga. Everybody knows the definition of the yoga. So, ruler of the Jnanendriyas is Paramatma. The ruler of the Karmendriyas is Jivatma. So, these are few entities which are under the control of the Jivatma and Paramatma. Then this Kshetrajna has to have some helping principles. Okay, along with this physiological principles, this Kshetrajna function or work in the field or in the Kshetra. So, which are these 24 principles, physiological principles? So, first one is, first 5 is Pancha Mahabhutas or Panchatan Matras: earth, water, air, fire, ether. Okay, Mahabhutan Ahankaro Buddhi Avyaktam Evacho. Ahankar, intelligence, that is Buddhi. Mahat, that is Chitta. Then 10 sense organs. Then 11th organ is mind, and then 5 sense objects or the padarthas. Okay, or the arthas of the Pancha Mahabhutas, that is sound, sparsho, sound is the noise, or what we can say, not noise, because English translation is always shabda, sparsha, drusha, rasa, and gandha. Okay, so sound, touch, color, taste, and smell. So these are padarthas, the arthas or the sensory sense objects of the Pancha Mahabhutas. So this, along with these 24 Mahat Tattvas, Kshetrajna works or functions in the Kshetra. And in some other context, even this was described in 13th chapter. These 7 sutras are discussed in 13th chapter. Next, in 7th chapter, in some another context, the similar things has been, or this kind of a spiritual anatomy is described in Bhagavad Gita. That is, there are 2 kinds of prakritis. Okay, now here because in Sanskrit or in Vedic literature, different words are used for different entities on different contexts. So here in 7th chapter, 4th and 5th sutras, Sri Krishna is telling in some another context that there are 2 kinds of prakritis. Now prakritis means here he is telling about the kshetrajnas, okay, energies, basic energies. So apara prakriti, that is a lower nature, that means which is consisting of the all that mahat tattvas, like a few tattvas are described here, that bhumi, rapo, nalo, vayu, kham, mano, buddhi, evacha. Ahankaram, itiyam, bhinna, prakrutihi, ashtada. So 8 kinds of prakritis he is describing. Ashtada, that is 8 kinds of apara prakriti. Apara means lower form, which is little bit inferior prakriti or inferior kind of energies he is describing. And then he is describing that apareyam iti swanyam prakrutim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. That is beyond is apara prakriti, that is some called as a para prakriti, that is a higher nature or superior form of my basic energies, that is a fundamental life principle in the form of jivatma. So now we can categorize that there is supreme, or there is ultimate consciousness, or there is supreme consciousness, that is one of the Paramatma. Under that, or is the Jivatma, under which is also called as a Para Prakriti, and under that there is a Apara Prakriti. Okay, and all these are Prakriti. Okay, these have been given a feminine characters. Okay, that's why you might have seen this kind of figures or this kind of pictures to symbolize Prakriti. And that's why in mostly in Bhakti Yoga, they consider that all are females only. Okay, there is only one male here. That is their concept, that is their beliefs. If you will go to ISKCON or any sampradaya or any family which are the devotees of Lord Krishna, they believe that however bodies are here on this earth, they are all female because they are basic only prakritis. They have been given a feminine gesture. Okay, there is only one male, that is a Krishna, and all other, including let it be male body or let it be female body, they are all females because they are only prakritis. Purusha is only one, that is the supreme consciousness. All others are only prakritis. So you'll find this kind of feminine picturization always in different context. So till here we discussed yesterday. Now we'll discuss about the Vikrutis. Okay, in the same chapter, in the same 7th chapter, Sri Krishna is explaining after the Prakriti concepts, okay, or after the Jivatma concepts. He is describing in the next 14 or 13 sutras, 14 sutras, that there is, along with this there is something called as a Prakriti, which is my normal basic energies, and there is one another energy that is called as a Maya. Okay, so Maya, exploring Maya with a mythological aspect, there are a lot of stories, okay, and well explained, but we are exploring this with the medical aspect. So what is Vikruti? Okay, Vikruti or Maya is a kind of a Vikruti, which is not a Prakruti, that is called as a Vikruti. Okay, which is against the Prakriti is a Vikruti, and which is against the normal basic spiritual entity, that is Maya. Okay, so he's describing in the 14th sutra, Daivi Hesha Gudamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. Okay, so what he's telling here, of course, the Prakriti and the Vikruti, or the Maya and my basic energies, that is Jivatma, is derived from me only. Okay, from the supreme consciousness only. Okay, I have given the birth, or I have created this Maya. I have created the Prakriti as well as the Vikruti also. So Maya or Vikruti is a cosmic energy. Okay, that is as similar to Prakriti. Vikruti is also a cosmic energy. Okay, because supreme consciousness or Krishna is beyond this Prakriti and Vikruti, is beyond this Maya and the Jivatma. Okay, he is Paramatma. Okay, so this Maya or this Prakriti, this Vikruti is created by Lord Krishna or created by Paramatma only. It is derived from Paramatma. It is a kind of a cosmic energy. Okay, it covers each and every living as well as non-living things. Okay, Mama Maya Duratyaya, that is my this cosmic in everything here in this universe. Let it be matter form, let it be non-matter form, let it be living things, let it be non-living things. It is always covered with this Maya, okay, or with this Vikruti. That means in contrast to our physical or in a contrast to our medical aspect, whatever the normal or abnormal physiology of the body is under control of this Maya. Maya and Prakriti, or what we can say Prakriti and Vikruti. Okay, so different just words we have to understand here. Whether either we will have Prakriti, that is a normal physiology, or either we will have the Vikruti, that is the abnormal physiology. So normal abnormal physiology of the body is under control of the Maya. So how we will discuss, or how we will explore this sutra with the medical aspect? This is a practical observation that whenever a patient comes, I have discussed this thing with few patients, that of course you have some symptoms, okay, pain in abdomen, low back pain, and so many, depending on their diseases or depending on their disorders, they have symptoms, okay, or maybe vertigo or any kind of symptoms. Okay, some symptoms are constant, okay, maybe for longer duration of time. So, but all these symptoms are present in conscious state only, okay, in Jagruti Avastha only. Okay, when they are living, when they are talking, when they get up from the sleep, then symptoms starts. Okay, what the patient is not realizing this. So we have to realize, or we have to observe this thing. Patient says, I have the symptom 24 hours. Okay, madam, my back is having, I'm having a lower back pain continuously since last 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Then I ask the question, do you have the pain 24 hours? Yes, madam, I have the pain 24 hours. But is this a fact? Can anyone have the pain 24 hours? The answer is no. Patient is not realizing because he is busy in so many things. The patient have the symptoms only in Jagruti Avastha. Okay. However, he is awake. How much time he is awake? He is having the pain or any kind of symptom only in the conscious state, not in Swapna Avastha, that is a rapid eye movement sleep, or not in Sushupti Avastha, that is in non-rapid eye movement sleep, or something called as a deep sleep. Okay. We know when we are in the field of yoga that we exist, or we are passing in through three stages or steps, that is Jagruti Avastha, Swapna Avastha, and Sushupti Avastha. Okay. So each and every person passes through this three steps. There are other consciousness also, levels of consciousness after beyond these three avasthas or states, but we will not go in that. Each and every person passes through these three steps, or he's aware that I have when I was in a dream state, when I was in a Sushupti Avastha. Sushupti Avastha awareness is a very rare, but he passes through that. Some maybe within this 24 hours, at least 1 hour, the person is in Sushupti Avastha. Minimum half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour. Okay, so that combination varies from person to person. So these symptoms are present only in Jagruti Avastha, not in Swapna Avastha, okay, or not in Sushupti Avastha. Then where the symptoms goes? So we need to think on this. We need to contemplate on this. So all these symptoms, all these vikrutis is a kind of a Maya. So for that we have to understand the Maya better. Okay. Then we will again come back to this concept of why symptoms are present in called as a Maya, or why symptoms are called as a Maya. Basically, what is a Maya? Maya, the word itself means that Ma means not. In Sanskrit, the word Ma or the letter Ma is something called as a Ma. Okay, something called as a is always written for the meaning not. Ya means there is. Whenever the word itself, etymology says that which is not there, which is absent, we feel that is present. This energy or this meaning is something called as a Maya. Okay, so Maya itself is an elusive energy. It's a illusion. It's a kind of an illusion. Okay, we think we so many times tell that I thought it was present. Okay, it was my illusion. What is illusion? What we see which is not present. Okay, so that is itself, Maya itself is an illusion. Okay, and that's a kind of a energy. Under this illusion, or under this mic, under the prabhav of Maya, we accept body as the self, and material world is the truth. So like that, we accept the symptoms also of the body is true. Okay, difficult to understand, but this is by day by contemplation we can able to understand this. So to Maya basically is something which is not present. If we'll see like this, no, we can understand Maya better with current technology, advanced technology. We have virtual reality. Okay, we have augmented reality. No, we in the interior decoration, the profession of interior decoration, they will give you a device. No, if you, they will visualize you that how your living area will look like. Okay, or the video games, there are different kinds of video games. We have to just put that device on our eyes, or and on our ears, then we can travel through so many things, mountains and these and that. Okay, that is a virtual reality, that is not present. Does that mountains are present in front of you? No, but we see, we watch, we feel that I fell down, I'm rising up, I'm playing in that all video game. So the Maya is a kind of a virtual reality. as we play the video game or as we visualize something with the help of augmented reality or with the help of virtual reality, we feel that which is not present, which is not there at all, but we get that kind of feelings. So Maya is a similar kind of thing, that which is not present at all, okay, that we feel. If the symptoms or if the any kind of pain is is really present, then why we are not able to feel that in swapna avastha or in sushupti avastha? Because in swapna and sushupti avastha, in rapid eye movement sleep and in non rapid eye movement sleep, the consciousness is in its real state. Okay, that means when I will put off that video game or that device from my eyes or from my ears, I will able to visualize the real state or real picture present in front of me. And as I will put on that video game or that kind of a device on my eyes and ear, again that game starts. Okay, so Maya is something kind of that video game or that device which gives you a wrong information or wrong knowledge. Okay, so in Jagruti Avastha is something kind of a putting that video devices on our eyes and ears. So that's why I'm saying that swapna, that's why I'm saying ki all these vikrutis are actually Maya, they are not present. Okay, uh, the lower back pain or any kind of a pain is not felt in swapnavas and sushupti avastha, because the consciousness is in its real state or the soul is in its real state. So, if then what is the answer or what is the solution? Mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Okay, the one who surrendered to God, or one knows that I have wore the video game or I have wore that device. Okay, I am watching this video game or I am visualizing this kind of a Maya. The one who knows this, how we can come to know this? That when we surrender to God, when we get attached to God, when we offer all our karmas to God, then we can easily able to see the coverings of the Maya, and then that person can pass through this Maya. Okay, so the it's of course it is difficult, but by practice of yoga we can slowly can visualize or can feel the these coverings of the Maya. Okay, but the people that non-believers of the God, if I don't believe in God, I don't know what is this God and what is this Maya and everything. Okay, these people are called as a Mudha. And they do not surrender to God, they get covered in the Maya always. So if we want to know, suppose for example, if I will wear that video device of augmented reality or virtual reality for 24 hours, okay, I will never put it away from my body, then I will be in the continuous visualization of that uh, augmented reality or virtual reality. Okay, so then the people have always continuous pain. Okay, this is practically observed when people understand or when people follow bhakti yoga practices, they surrender to God, they do karma yoga, they offer the karmas towards the God, you know, towards the society. So then their symptoms decreases. Okay, or they can overcome all these vikrutis. This is the practical observation we have observed in the yoga therapy. So that's why we are this. That's why these techniques are called as a yoga maya. In the same next sutras, Sri Krishna is telling to get free from this negative influence of this maya, one need to adopt another Krishna's energy, that is the yoga maya, yoga shakti, or yogic powers. This is a spiritual elusive energies. See, the God is great. It is a it is having a truly lot of energies. So there are a lot of energy, different energies of God. So if we want to deal with this Maya or with this Vikruti, we have to adopt the Krishna's another energy, that is a Yoga Maya or yogic powers, yogic Shaktis. Okay. These yogic Shaktis attracts Jiva again to its natural condition with willful service to the Supreme. So the tool or the method is to offer your life or offer your whole soul to in the service of the Lord. Okay, so then the jiva or the jivatma, again Yogamaya helps jivatma to again go back to its natural condition, that is a sushupti avastha. So this sushupti avastha they can able to live in a jagruti avastha also. Okay, so with the Yogamaya or this power of yogic lifestyle. Okay, so yogic lifestyle we can have a different session on that. Yoga has its diet, exercises, kriyas, meditation, and a lot of practices, yoga asanas, pranayamas. So yogic lifestyle is a yoga maya or yogic therapy which results in a decreased symptoms though the signs are present. Okay, now what is the difference between a sign and symptom? Symptom is something what I feel or what the patient feel, and sign is a condition of the body. Okay, so there might be degenerative changes in my vertebrae, there might be some degenerative changes in my knees or in my body, there might be a blockage in my cardiovascular cardiac coronary artery. Okay, these are the signs. Okay, that is not the symptom. The signs might be present, the body can deteriorate or body has to be deteriorated. Okay, shiriyate tat shariram, body deteriorates from time to time. As time passes, body deteriorates, then nobody can stop the deterioration of the body. So signs will be present, there can be blockages, there can be destruction of some organs, anything. Okay, but the symptoms decreases. Okay, symptoms means the feelings what the patient gets with these signs. Okay, so along with yoga maya or along with the power of yogic lifestyle or yogic therapy, the symptom decreases though the signs may be present. Okay, so there can be a degenerative changes in my vertebrae. Okay, but my low back pain decreases. Okay, because nobody can stop the deterioration of the that intervertebral disc of the vertebral column. Okay, that anyway after 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, that is going to be degenerated. What is our purpose? To decrease the symptom, to make the person happy, to make the patient happy. So along with the yoga maya, symptom decreases, but this, maybe sign remains as it is. Okay, so here is a little bit description about the Vikruti, which is in mythology or in spiritual aspect, the word is Maya. But in the medical aspect, that is a kind of a Vikruti. So, what happens? Okay, but some people cannot understand this. Okay, they get covered always with this maya, they get trapped in this vikruti. Okay, that is the chronic diseases. There are so many chronic diseases from 20 years, from 15 years, from 10 years, people are just suffering from different diseases. Okay, they are in they remains in this or they remain covered with this maya, they remain covered with this prakriti, vikruti. Okay, so what happens with them? Okay, so the Sri Krishna is saying in 12th sutra, मोघाशा मोघ कर्मणो मोघ ज्ञाना विचेतसः राक्षसीम आसुरीम चैव प्रकृतिम मोहिनीं श्रिताः. So the person who remains under these coverings of maya for longer duration of time, he results in demonic and aesthetic approach, or they get converted into the demonic and aesthetic people. People get for longer because they are not able to understand, they are not able to follow. Whenever the patient is, young people, young generation, young people, patients are coming, and we are asking them to follow the yoga or yoga maya or do this, do that. In yogic therapies we are asking them to do different things, but they don't believe in that. Okay, because they want quick results. Okay, so they go to another treatment paths, and they continue to be covered with this maya or with this vikrutis. Okay, So the person who don't follow the yogic lifestyle or yoga maya, they remains covered with this maya or with this kind of diseases, with this kind of vikrutis. Okay, then maybe 5 year, 10 year, 20 years, they remain in that lifestyle. Okay, they remain covered with the maya. They get attracted towards the aesthetic approach. Suppose, for example, if a person is having or suffering from a disease since last 10 years, 15 years, he loses the faith in the reality that is observed always in the chronic diseases. From 15 years, from 20 years, from 10 years, people are not listening or not moving towards the yoga maya or not moving towards the yogic lifestyle. Okay, they remain in the under the control of the maya, and they keep on losing the faith in the ultimate reality, or in the losing they lost they, completely. It depends on person to person, but they keep on losing the faith in the god, that god is not present. If the god is present, why I am suffering this, that. Okay, so that is a mental psychology of so many people. So they'll completely start losing the faith in the ultimate reality uh, if they are suffering from the chronic diseases. So they start doing lot of demonic activities. Okay, Rakshasim Asurim Chaivo, Moghasha. The word is Mogha. They are covered. They are covered with this Maya. And they commit the Mogha Karmano. They commit the demonic activities. Demonic is not exactly demonic, but not activities which are good in the society, or which are favorable to the society. There are a lot of behavioral consequences of the chronic diseases. If you are suffering from any of a person is suffering from chronic diseases, you will observe that they end up, or they adopt these kinds of angry outbursts from small, from so even small changes in the circumstances, they easily get angry. They end up in the angry outbursts. They consume the drugs, they undergo the alcohol consumption. So sometimes it depends from person to person. It's not like that every patient adopt all these consequences. But sometimes some people get socially withdrawal. No, they don't want to meet with the people, or they adopt the isolation from the society. Maybe mental hostility. No, they give good, or they easily get anxious. No, excessive moodiness is found in different people who are suffering from chronic diseases. Okay, so all these are demonic activities, or rakshasi asuri chaiva, rakshasi or asuri activities. Okay, these are not in support of the society. These are not support. These activities or these consequences are not actually harmful for the society. Okay, so these are the behavioral consequences of the diseases. They commit a kind of a, antisocial activities or demonic activities. Okay, so whatever they, if they are covered with maya, if they are under the diseases or chronic diseases, vikrutis, and they are ending with this kind of behavioral consequences, that whatever the activities they are doing, all their activities goes in vain. That is a fruitless action. Okay, and even whatever the knowledge they are acquiring also, that is also fruitless. Okay, mohinim shritaha, because they are covered with the maya, they are covered with the vikrutis. So now here we discuss about the prakriti and the vikruti, or maya and something called as a yoga maya. If we will be under the control of maya, we will end up in a behavioral consequences of the diseases. And if we will undergo the yogic maya or yoga maya, we can come out of the from the diseases. So how? But how? Solutions to overcome this vikruti is a yoga maya, or adoption of the yoga maya can give you, or can help you to come out from or to overcome this vikruti. But how? There are four sutras actually. Sri Krishna is saying, or practical guidelines he is giving. महात महात मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृति माश्रिताः भजन्ति अनन्य मनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादीन अव्ययम्. Chapter 9, 13 sutra or 13 verses says that people, or the person who remember me, okay, passes through maya. or passes through this abnormal physiology or this vikruti. Okay, what he want to what he is asking to do, asking you to do is believe in me. First of all, believe in me. We have to believe in the ultimate reality. We have to be, however, because the patient, the people suffering, if you have entered in the cancer ward or cancer institutes, they are suffering so much, they totally lose, or they almost have, you'll observe that they have lost the faith in the reality. Okay, but the God is there. If you'll start moving towards the God, God will come to you. Okay, but the problem is that we never take the first step towards the God. Okay, so believe, first of all, believe in me. Get connected towards the positivity. What do you mean by believe in me? That mahatmanastu mam partho. Okay, or bhajanti ananya manaso. Okay, so believe, first of all, believe in me, believe in God, get connected to the positivity. However negative atmosphere is there surrounding us, we have to neglect that, and we have to keep on dwelling on the positive thoughts. Okay, that's why we always take the lectures or do some kind of workshops in the cancer wards or in the cancer institutes or similar, the people suffering from the worst diseases. So get connected towards the positivity. However, even there are so many diseases other than cancers also which are quite difficult to handle. So in that, first of all, however negativity is present surrounding us, forget about that, leave that or neglect that. We cannot able to leave, but we can at least neglect that. We have to get connected towards the positivity only, on the positive thoughts only. Japas, mantras, and even so many attending this kind of workshops, attending satsangas. There are different tools which can help you to get connected to the positivity, okay, or the positive thoughts. There are even different practices in the society, some sampradayas or some families or some so many things, they are helping us to get connected with the positivity. Live under my divine control. Okay, next one he's saying, follow my signals. No, when we get adopted to get connected with the positivity, or we do some kind of meditation, some kind of any kind of meditation, depending on the person, we get connected to the God. Okay, and then God gives us this some kind of thoughts, or God gives us some kinds of the signal, and follow that signals. Positive, these signals are positive and socially responsible. Of course, these signals, you will find that these signals are always positive. In meditation, we never get a kind of a thought that I want to torture this person, or I have to torture that person, I have to cause the damage to this person. We never get this kind of negative instructions or negative signals. We always receive the positive signals, we always receive the positive orders, and even socially responsible lifestyle. Okay, and then if you will follow that signals, that will end up in the socially responsible lifestyle, that is a sattvic karma. Okay, so what is sattvic karma, what is sattvic diet, that will come in few next sessions. There we will describe this more or in detail. So the if we will get connected, if we are living under the control of the under the divine control, we end up in a sattvic karma. So bhajanti mam. Now this word bhajanti means only we have to sing the song, that kind of, that is not the thing. We have to get we have to live under the divine control. Okay, so why he is saying, the reason is that I am the cause. I have given you this disease. I will drag you out from this disease. I made you. Sri Krishna is saying, I made you to enter. I made you to enter in the Maya, and I will take you out from the Maya also, because I am the cause. I am the result of everything. Okay, so first thing is that believing in God, that the person, suppose today if I put you in some consequences, suppose for example if you are my friend and I put you in some consequences or in some difficult situation, I will only take you out from that situation. So like that, Maya is also a energy of the God, or Yoga Maya is also the energy of the God. These all are cosmic energies. So just follow my orders, or just be under my control, or under the divine control. We can easily pass through the Vikruti. The next 34 sutras, he is saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktaiva matmanam matparayanah. So, what is a Manmana Avastha? He is asking us, Lord Krishna is asking us to be in a Manmana Avastha. What is a Manmana Avastha? Or what is a Manmana stage? Engaging the mind in me continuously, staying connected to me. Okay. And this is practically possible when we are talking, we are sleeping, when we are eating. Every time, no, there are so many practices, yogic practices. If you are staying in some ashram or in some kind of a spiritual places, you will find that remembering God is their habitual practice. Before eating, before starting the sessions, they always remember the God. Today also we are starting the sessions with the prayers, we are ending sessions with the prayer. So everywhere, all the spiritual practices, you will find engage your mind continuously with me, stay connected to me. That is a manmana avastha. Manmana bhava, be manmana, or be in a manmana avastha always. That gives the peace of mind. Okay. How being in manmana avastha will help me to get rid of my diseases? That whenever we are continuously engaged in this, or my mind is continuously engaged with the God, or I am connected to God, that gives the peace of mind. Okay. And that leads to the dissolution of the adhi. We know the next presentation is on the causes of the diseases, that is on the adhi. So adhi is the root cause of the diseases. Yogic physiology, disease physiology says that. So adhi gets dissolved with this peace of mind when we always enter in the manmana avastha, or when we always remain in the manmana avastha. How we will achieve that manmana avastha? The tool or the techniques are the Jnana Yoga practices. Okay, Jnana Yoga practices, that's what we are doing it here now. Shravan, you are hearing. Jnana Yoga practices, we are aware stages of the Jnana Yoga. At least the people who have done some courses from the SVyasa Bangalore, they are quite aware of all these things. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, that these are the 6 stages. So Jnana Yoga practices, you have to hear about that, you have to think on that, you have to dwell on that. Okay. So all the Jnana Yoga practices will help you to enter or to remain in a Manmana Avastha. What next solution he is giving? Madbhakto. Okay. Be my devotee. Okay. Follow the Bhakti Yoga. There are a lot of bhakti yoga tools like japas, chants, services, bhajans, and different things. Okay. Following different vows, different vratas. Okay. So follow the bhakti yoga practices. So then you will able to come out from the diseases. Next one he is saying, Madhyaji mam namaskarum. Be with me. Okay. That is, be in a present tense. What do you mean by being with the God? Because we are always in the either in the past tense or in the future tense, we hardly remain, or hardly we are we are present in the present tense. He is asking that be with me, be in a present tense. And what is the tool to be in a present tense? The very effective, very significant tool to be in a present tense is the karma yoga. Okay. Because karma yoga teaches us how to get easily attached and how to get easily detached from the objects, or from the person, or from the things, anything. So all karma yoga practices will help us to be in the present tense. So that is something, in that way we can be always with the God. And then mame vaishyasi yuktaiva atmanam matparayanah. Okay. Get established in my grace. Okay. We always want someone's grace. Okay. We always want someone's blessings, either different gurus, or our parents, or different, or maybe the, if we don't have parents, if we don't have any guru, then get established in my grace. He's asking us, get established in my grace. How? The tool is get blessings after seva. So seva, basically few diseases like autoimmunity, cancer, thalassemia major, blood cancers, so many tough diseases. The solution is only the seva, okay, only the service. They have to get rid of their karmas. Okay, in the causes of the diseases, next presentation, karmic causes of the diseases, we'll discuss this in detail. That so many diseases are the reason of so many diseases is the karmas. So to get rid of that karmas, the seva or the giving service to different things, maybe the in the family, in the society, in different forms, that is only the solution. Okay, mat parayanaha, get established in my grace. So next 22nd sutra says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Next solution he is giving us to come out from these vikrutis or to come out from these problems. Krishna says, this is a promise of the Krishna, that the devotee who loving no one else means he is only the person who is loving only me. Okay, he is coming under the, just a minute. He is loving only me and constantly worshipping me in a disinterrupted way. Ananya Chintayanto. Ananya means nothing else. He is just thinking and he's just dwelling on me. Chintayanto Maye Janaha Paryupasate. Just think about me. Solution of few diseases is only surrendering towards the God. Okay, to those ever united in thought of with me. Okay, the person has to remain under my control or under or he must be dwelling on my thoughts only. Then if he is following this, I will bring or I bring full security and personally attend to their needs. This is my promise. God is saying, Krishna is saying, this is my promise that I will bring you the security. I will get you rid of your diseases. I will get you rid of your problems. And I will personally attend your requirements. I will personally yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of your needs. I will take care of your resources. Okay. So you have to be completely under surrender of the God. Then God is giving you the assurance that I will take care of all your needs. So what happens basically, so we are always worried about our security, maybe about the security of our resources, security of our future life, security of different things. Okay, we are under continuously under the worries of this, or we are under tension of all this, what will happen, how I am going to proceed in my future, and different kinds of worries, different kinds of tensions are present in each and every person, or each and person is having this kind of thoughts in his mind about his future, about his siblings, about his or her next generation or something. And that is a cause of the stress. Okay, that is a cause of the diseases. That is a cause of the adhi. Okay, so and basically type B personality disorders like coronary artery disorders, cardiovascular disorders, especially gastric disorders, or if you dig out the reason of the gastric diseases, that will come under the, that will only one you can end up only in the tension and worries. All the gastric diseases has the root cause as some kind of tension, some kind of worries, some kind of chinta. Okay, even menstrual disorders, or the reproductive system of females is highly influenced by all in any kind of worries, any kind of tension, any kind of stress. Because especially by nature, the reproductive as well as endocrinal system of the female body is quite sensitive. So it is highly influenced by the worries, by the some kinds of tension. So you'll find all that root cause of all cardiovascular, gastric diseases, menstrual diseases is this kind of a chinta or this kind of a tension, worries. So what is the answer? The God is saying, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. You surrender to me, you do my activities, I'm giving you this kind of assurance. I'm giving you a warranty that I will take care of everything. Okay. So surrendering and having this, no, something, if I purchase a product also, if I will have a 5 years warranty with that, then I'm assured or I'm satisfied. So like that, actually the God is giving you the warranty of the life. Okay. So believe in this two words, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. The day we start believing on this Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, you'll observe that there will be a lot of changes in your life. Okay. The next one, in next sutra, he is saying, अपि चेत्सु अपि चेत् सुदूराचारो भजते माम अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव स मन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः. Okay, so this sutra is little bit or cautiously we have to understand this sutra, because this can be considered as a concession that I am allowed to do anything, I will be forgive. Okay. So that's not the situation. So note is provided under at the last. This sutra should not be considered or taken as a concession. Okay. What he's saying, there is a promise to everyone. In last sutra, he is giving you the warranty. He is giving you the promise that I will take care of yourself, but you just follow my orders. You just can be connected with me. You just create the negativity in the atmosphere. So he is giving the promise to the greatest sinner also. Okay. Now, what is greatest sinner? We will see. What he's saying in this sutra: even if the wellest or the greatest sinner worship me with exclusive devotion, he will get rewarded. Okay. So in this api chetsu duracharo means the greatest sin, who have always done bad karmas or not negative karmas in throughout the life, maybe in past births also. Okay. So I will, if he is also surrendering towards me with exclusive devotion, I will get rewarded. We have a lot of examples in the mythological stories or Indian mythology, that, for example, Rishi Valmiki. Okay, we are quite aware of his story, that he was a decade, or he was a kind of a killer. Okay, and how he get converted into a rishi or a saint. Okay, so if you are ready to surrender towards me, I will give you the rewards. So Krishna is saying like this. In medical context, what we will see, what are the Saraja Vyadhi? In next cause of the diseases, we will observe the Adhija Vyadhi, Anadhija Vyadhi. So there, this Saraja Vyadhi will be well explained. So Saraja Vyadhi means the Vyadhi or the diseases which so the diseases uh, whose root causes are in past births. For example, congenital diseases, autistic disorders, juvenile diabetes, thalassemia minor, few skin disorders. Okay, so think about all these diseases. These are not something that I have eaten some kind of a wrong, I have adopted some kind of a wrong lifestyle and I have end up in the diseases. Okay, I consume lot of fats and lot of cholesterol, so I end up in obesity and then in cardiac diseases. These are not that simple vyadhi or simple diseases. The root causes of these diseases are lying in the past births. Even Ayurveda and yoga etiology, and that means Ayurveda also supports this yoga etiology or yogic reasons, Ayurvedic reasons of this Saraj Vyadhi, says that the root causes of this kind of diseases, that is a Saraj Vyadhi, are lying in the past birth karmas. Okay, some kinds of sins, some kinds of dushkarma, some kinds of negative karmas they have committed in the past births. Okay, that is, otherwise when the child or when the baby is just a 6 months old, or maybe 1 or 1.5 year old, he is getting diagnosed with the juvenile diabetes. He is getting diagnosed with the autistic disorders. And that is not only the karmas of the person, that can be the karmas of the families also. Okay, so Ayurveda also supports this kind of a karmic causes of the diseases. few diseases. Yoga also supports, or yoga also describes about the karmic causes of the diseases. So this kind of Saraja Vyadhi have the past birth karmas as a cause of the diseases, or this past birth karmas, or the greatest sin in maybe this karma, this in this birth, or maybe in last birth, that end up in the Saraja Vyadhi. So in that context, Krishna is saying, if you have committed any kind of a greatest sins, or greatest kind of a dushkarmas in your life, it is my guarantee that if you will come to me, if you will follow the yoga maya, if we will follow the or if you'll surrender towards me, I will help you to come out from that situation. No, I will get you rewarded. Okay, sadhurevat samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi sah. That, and this is practically we have seen, we have observed that we are conducting workshop for autistic disorders, for diabetic people, then autism. No, basically autism, in the field of autism we have worked or we have conducted a lot of workshops with with yoga therapy. So they end up, or they are getting better and better life or lives. No, 10-year-old child, 5-year-old child, the family is screwed up, because if you are having an autistic child in the family gets screwed up, or the family atmosphere is really very bad. So with the yoga maya, with the yogic lifestyle, with the surrendering, with the bhakti yoga practices, we can improve the lives of the people. Okay, that's what he's saying. That if you will surrender to me, if the greatest sinner, or the person who has committed the greatest sin in the lives, it may be past life, maybe in this life, if he is surrendering to me, I will. It is my assurance that I will put him out from this vikruti of the maya. So here we are ending with the presentation, because this was a very long presentation recording. It's always one